Hello everyone, Stephanie Davis here today. Today I have a few hauls to share with you guys, and I have quite a few cards to share, and then I also have some answers to some frequently asked questions. I've been getting quite a few emails, especially about close to my heart items, so I'm kind of going to give you a little brief favorites and hate-its for close to my heart. And I don't want to offend anybody, but just because I get so many questions, I thought I would just answer it once and be done. So anyway, so let's get to the haul. Let's get to the fun stuff. So my first haul is from Amazon. I told you guys last time I picked up one of these Tombow dual brush pens. They have a brush nib on one end, and then they have a nib end on the other end. But they're really great for brush lettering. So that's what brought me onto them. And I don't know, I missed the boat because I guess these have been popular for a while. But many of you said I would love these, and thank you for those of you who did. You're right, I absolutely love them. And what you do is or what I've been doing, I don't know, I probably need to look up, see if I'm doing it right, but I'm taking the brush and using my acrylic block, just like I do with my Ziggies. And then I take some Bristol cardstock, and then I use this Dove blender, and then it makes really pretty colors. And you can do light and dark and do shading. And I don't know if you're supposed to use a water brush too, but I know I picked this up and I wanted to use it. But it makes some really lovely coloring. And if you've watched my channel, you know I like to use all different coloring mediums because I think that's how you keep it spicy in the craft room and not get bored. New products truly inspire me more than anything. To the Tombow brush pens, this is the bright palette. So it has, I'm just gonna open this up quickly. So it has 9 colors, and then, well, maybe this is their version of the Dove blender, I'm not sure. Really pretty colors. I especially like this purple, of course. And I think it'll make some really pretty, but I thought this would be perfect to make some pretty sunsets, and plus I can combine it with my brush lettering. I could use it in scrapbooks. The next item I picked up is this Strathmore Tone Tan paper, and I had mentioned before to you guys that I had watched a video that Stephanie Klauck made, and she did amazing colored pencil pictures with Disney characters, and it really inspired me. She said this was one of her favorites, so I'm going to try it out. But it's pretty thin cardstock, so this wouldn't be good for mixed media. It'd be perfectly fine for colored pencils, but I can tell by the weight of this paper, this is not going to be good for watercoloring or even my Ziggies I don't think would be good. But so this will be strictly for doing sketches and colored pencil drawings, stuff like that. So, but I like the nice small size, because it's not going to be overwhelming. I won't feel like I have to take up the whole big page. So I really like this little nice compact size. Okay. The next item I had to pick up is this Magello. It's a 18 well watercolor palette. And as many of you know, I've picked up the Daniel Smith watercolors. They don't come with a palette. So this was really affordable. It was under $10, so that's why I decided to try it, and it had good reviews. It's supposed to be airtight, so it has a nice seal there, and I can see some rubber, and it has some nice wells, and I like that the wells slope down, so the paint will stay here, and then I'm sure you're supposed to paint inside there, but I don't know if I'll do that. It depends on how much it's stained. I've noticed some of my palettes getting stained, and I don't like them to get stained. So it has some instructions here. So I will be trying that out. Okay. So the next item I also picked up on Amazon, and I normally wouldn't show you the package and everything, but I wanted you to know what you were getting if you happen to try these out. It's a wonderful product, bad packaging. This is the magnets, and it's a whole pack of 100. But it just came in this bag, and they were all twisted and turned every which way. Now they all look in fine shape, so I'll be keeping it. But if somebody recommended that and it came packaged like that without the warning, I would have I wouldn't have liked that very much, I don't think. So the product is good, but the packaging is not so good. So these are these magnet, they are, well, I'll link them below, but they're from Amazon. But this is what I use for my dies. I'm gonna be doing a storage update video because I get a lot of questions about how I store everything. And what I like about these, for those of you who watched my old video, I used to use these from Eileen, I think is the name of it. And I just pick them up at Michael's or Joann's. But they were pricey. They were, I think, almost $1 a sheet. So these are less than half that. But these aren't shiny, so they still have a lot of magnet power. They have the same magnet power as these thicker ones do, but they're much thinner. And they're flexible, so I can use them. I use them for my watercolors because they're thinner. That's why I really like them, and the price, of course. But this is how I keep mine. Again, I'm going to be doing a storage update video, and I'll explain more later. But they're really easy just to stick on there, and I absolutely love them. I've used. I ordered last time I ordered the 100 pack, and I've already went through them all. So I needed some more, but I do use them to keep all my watercolors on their little metal track, and I use them for a few other things, but mostly I use them for die storage. My next haul was from HSN, and unfortunately that's the only place you can get these. And if you've been with me for a while, then you know what these are. I'll go ahead and open them. So if you happen to ever get these, make sure you cut right along the top, because these are another product that's a wonderful product, but they're not packaged very well. Because I could have cut these really easy if I wouldn't have been more careful. So these are the Anna Griffin embossing folder sleeves. These for my stamp pockets as well as my die storage, and they've been out of stock for a long time. I couldn't get them, and I needed them so badly. And actually, I've been wanting to make an updated video for you guys for a while, but I couldn't because I'm out of so many, and I'm having to double up on them and everything like that. So I picked up a few of these while they were back in stock. I don't know if they're in stock. They are more expensive than the Avery L. So if you're just looking for the cheapest way, don't even look at these. Just close your eyes, look away. So my next order is from Close to My Heart. And as you guys know, I've been a consultant for years just as a hobbyist. And then I have been getting a few more orders recently. So what I did is I opened up a mystery hostess on my website. So everyone who orders from there, you're gonna get in for the mystery hostess. Because honestly, as much as I love Close to My Heart, and I'm gonna get to the products I love later, the things that I love, I have, and I love you guys helping me keep active, and then I will give you the hostess money. So I just wanna thank you if you have ordered from me. But what I like to do is I like to keep a wish list going, and then whenever they have a stamp of the month that I like, then that's when I go order. So the stamp of the month you get for $5 with an order of $50. So also, I'll tell you, if you do order, go ahead and make sure you read the fine print when you're ordering, because a lot of times they'll give you a free catalog, or there's some kind of special that you could get free stuff like that. So make sure and read the fine print. You'll see little check boxes you'll have to check off if you want that free stuff. So, but you can get a free catalog. There's the annual catalog, or there's the seasonal catalog. The annual catalog is the big catalog. The seasonal is a little mini where stuff's only available for 3 months. Now, I don't send catalogs because I really don't want this channel to be about selling. I'm just gonna leave it there. Okay, I want this channel to be about sharing, so I'm only gonna share what I love, and you'll see at the end of the video, I'm a little brutally honest about things that I really don't love. And that's just me. So this is the school year stamp of the month, and I think this is really cute. It's got a chalkboard, it's like a box with a multiple choice list. It's got a speech bubble, a pencil, it's got a back to school where you could fill it in, and then my favorite is these two. And I know I've gotten a few requests to like make process videos of me showing Close to My Heart items. I really doubt I'm going to be doing that very much. You might see a paper here or there because I can't find a replacement, but because a lot of the things from Close to My Heart are limited, I think there's nothing worse than loving a card and then finding out later, you know, 3 months later, oh, that's not available anymore. So this is what I had to go order for because I have had this on my wish list for a little while. But so what this is, it's a pigment, they call it a pigment inks foam insert, but actually it's just a 1 cube ink insert. So I'm going to open this and I'll show you guys what it does. So I got it out of the packaging. So this is foam. It's just like the foam. It's pretty much like the foam you have inside the Misty that we could stamp on, but it's it fits perfectly in their small organizers. It fits snugly, so it goes down perfect. So then it's not going to slide around and move, but it's got these indentations so you can get it out if you need to. This is how I keep my distress inks, and I absolutely love it. And as much as I would like to take these out and put it in the foams, I have too many. So unless I want to put them in 2 containers, which I really don't, I doubt I use it for that. But you never know. Depends on how much I love it. I haven't tried it before, so I really can't tell you if I love it or not. But what I really got them for is because I do like the new Altenew little squares, and then I'm thinking of getting the Lawn Fawn squares as well. And I think these are gonna fit. Yeah, they fit perfect. So for these little inks, they always, when I have them on the side of my desk, they're always falling over and driving me a bit crazy. So since I don't have very much room on my tables right now, well, we have, most of the things are in storage, I thought this would be perfect. And then now I can get keep the Lawn Fawn down here and have my Altenew up here. And that will keep them from falling. And then whenever I need them, I just pull them off. So, but this I'm kind of OCD with my storage. The next thing I picked up is I picked up a few paper packs for scrapbooking because I wasn't sure if they were going to retire actually. So that's why I went ahead and picked them up, because I have been eyeing them for a while, but I kept putting it off. Close to My Heart was my gateway drug into card making. And you started out as a scrapbooker, and that's what I started Close to My Heart as, but then it evolved into card making. And then once I started card making, I pretty much stopped scrapbooking altogether. I need to start again. I know I do. I have rarely scrapbooked in the last 9 years. So I have a lot of catching up to do because I let my perfectionism get in the way. So I think these are like scrapbooking kits for dummies like me that I keep putting it off. So I'm just gonna do it as the page says. I'm just gonna quickly speed through these. So it's basically a kit laid out for you and it's done. And it's cut apart, you don't need a Cricut. It's all ready to go and you just basically assemble it. And I love this, I thought this would be perfect for my daughter. So it has more ideas in the back. And the best thing is it comes with the page protectors. So it makes it really easy just to slip your photos in. So this one is Forever and Always, and I really just love the colors. This one is the No Worries paper pack, and this is more of a paper, or this is kind of a card making or scrapbooker's kit, so it doesn't come with page protectors. With little accessories like this burlap ribbon, some sequins, and then it comes with these complements, which are little stickers and chipboard elements. And then you guys know I already showed you this other paper. It does come with some cardstock, but it comes with several sheets of paper. And I really do like their paper, but only for scrapbooking. A few of the patterns are okay for cards, but I really prefer the paper for scrapbooking. This is another really sweet one for babies. It's called Little One. Again, it has all the instructions and tells you just how to do it, which I like because I've got to quit overthinking it and not getting anything done. So it comes with these, some different, you call them Project Life, little insert papers and a few stickers. And then this I really like because I really like the variated color. This is what used to get me in trouble though, because I would see it and I would think, oh, I can do that. I can just emboss that and use watercoloring over it, but then I never do. So I thought that was really pretty, and then it comes with some cut apart sheets as well, and more of those little Project Life cards. And then of course more of the page protectors. And then the last item is this Workshops Your Way, and this is another one of those little kits. So this is another one of those kits you can use for card making or scrapbooking. But it's got some little chipboard pieces, and then it's got some stickers inside here. And I like that it shows you what they look like on the inside. And it's got some enamel dots and some twine. And then it's got several of these sheets of paper. They do all include the cut apart sheet, which I like, but there's no page protectors. They include cardstock instead of, they include some cardstock that matches instead of page protectors on these. So now to the favorite or hate it section. Now I'm only doing this because I keep receiving numerous emails, and I'm happy to answer you guys' questions, but I figured if a few of you are asking the same question, then I should just go ahead and tell you guys. Because as I mentioned before, I don't want this to be about selling, I want this to be about sharing. We'll be giving all the hostess money away back to you guys. And I just appreciate you keeping me active so I can keep the discount for the products I do love. Because as you guys, if you watch my channel, you know, I hate paying full price. So but there is some products that make me want to stay in Close to My Heart, and Close to My Heart is a fabulous company. I've been with them for a number of years. I really appreciate their sharing instead of selling attitude, but mostly I love their lower shipping. Their shipping is only $4.95 for orders under, I think, $100 for even something big like this. As long as my order's been under $100, it's still been the $4.95 shipping. A Close to My Heart consultant, you probably want to click out now, because I don't mean to offend you, but this is just my personal viewers have been asking, and so I'm gonna try to be as nice as I can, but I just have to be honest. So anyway, the first thing I love is these organizers. I love all of their organizers. I like that they have a raised edge, so they all stack together, and then it makes it nice and organized. So this is a small organizer. It's definitely one of my favorites. I used to have my ink pads stored in the Tim Holtz little tins, but when we moved, that's when I put everything in here. I hadn't really thought of that before, but I thought it would be perfect to take these with me when we traveled, and it was perfect. And I thought I would go back to the tins when I moved and we moved back, but I went up selling them because I did love this so much, because I loved opening it, having them all there, and getting them in and out is so easy. And then I just have shelf liner underneath there. It keeps them from sliding around just a bit. The only reason I thought about the foam insert is because one time my son, I had him get this for me, he accidentally dropped it. They all fell all over and all their lids came off, and yeah, that was a big mess. So that's what made me order the foam insert, but then I realized, oh wait, I have too many, so I don't know what I'll do yet. But anyway, I have my old craft mat in here, the one that used to curl up all the time, and my distress markers. So I love this organizing, and so that's the small organizer. Love that. You guys know that I love my little Close to My Heart scrubby. I think it's called a scrubber tool, I'm not sure. It's got these little brushes, and honestly, if you don't have a MISTI, you don't need this. This really only becomes, I mean, not that it doesn't work good, but this wasn't a must-have for me until I got my MISTI. Once I got my MISTI, this became a must-have because it can really get in there and clean all the images on the stamp. You do have to wash it every now and then. You just take a little teeny bit of dish soap and some hot water and run it under the sink. The next item I really love is this Close to My Heart mat. Now it's got the brand on the other side, but this is what I use if I'm using stencils it's got a non-slip side. It's not sticky, it's just non-slip. So it's some kind of magical plasticky material. But when I use stencils, all I do is press it down and it stays put, and I can use my blender tool. So it works really well for that. And then it comes off. The other thing it works pretty well for is when I put my paper down, and I discovered this by accident, like I've discovered many things by accident. But I can put my paper down when I'm going to use distress inks, and I can, it holds it. It's not sticky, so I don't really know how to describe it, but it's not sticky, but it holds the paper down while I use the foamy tool, so I don't have to get my little fingers messy. And you guys know I really don't like getting messy. So, but the reason I originally ordered it was because my other craft mat would do this, just like this. It would roll up, and it drove me insane. And so I tried using washi tape to tape it down, but it's still the little edges curling up. That kind of drove me nuts. So I decided to take a chance and try this, and it actually works really well. Now I can only get it in frame on half of it, but it stays down. So I really liked it. I didn't talk about it for a long time at first because I wanted to try it for a while before I mentioned it. So, but now I've had it for close to a year. So doesn't look the prettiest anymore because it has been well loved for I think a year now. I have a video coming up and you'll see I tried using it to do some of the ink blending and it didn't work. Now I realized afterwards I can feel it on here. What happened is I had embossing powder that spilled and I can feel it on there. So I'm going to try to run this under the sink and see if that brings it back. And I think it probably will. Next item that I really love is these. They're called paper envelopes, and I have them in the 6x6 side, and then I also have them in the larger size. That's for 12x12 paper. But I love keeping everything organized, and I just write down with Sharpie on there what it is. But what I love these bigger ones to keep my paper packs in. I love for all my Simon Says stamp card kits. I love all the things I picked up. I can keep it all together. I picked up a couple dies to go with this, and the stamp, and all the little accessories, and the idea sheet. I love being able to keep it all together. And there's some similar products probably on the market, but these seem to hold more, but mostly I like that they close in there and I can snap it shut. Now I'm a little sad because I think I saw something about they're going to take the snap away. I hope it's still, I'm sure it's still going to close, but even on their stamps, they're taking the snap away and they're just going to use like a little slit, I guess, to close it. So I'm hoping to get more of these before they take the snap away. I don't know if I'm going to like the new ones as much, honestly. So love to keep all of my Simon Says stamp card kits in there and keep everything together. The other thing I really like is this. This is called the Versamat, and I know it looks old and it's stained and it's dirty, and I haven't switched is because I've had this for over 10 years. So it's definitely well loved, and it doesn't look so pretty anymore, but what it has that other mats don't have is it has this foam material that makes stamping wonderful, and it's the same material that's in this in the Misty is on the back of this. So if I need to stamp something bigger than the Misty, I can always use this, and for scrapbooking I use this. The other product I really love is their page protectors. I started, when I went to scrapbook, I started with Creative Memories, and I still have many of their albums, but they're very old. They're over 10 years old. A lot of the pages ripped, so not a fan of that. But so I went to Michael's and I was getting their pages, and once I got, I think it was one of the scrapbooking kits that I picked up from Close to My Heart, and I felt the difference. It's thicker and it's better quality. When I picture my scrapbooks in 10 years, I want them to be this material, not the other brands you can get at Michael's that I felt to be a lot thicker. Now, if you do get one at Michael's, it seems like the last time I tried the We Are Memory Keepers, they are almost exactly the same. And the We Are Memory Keepers albums is what I use. But the Becky Higgins ones, I thought they felt thin and kind of cheapy. So, but this is very personal preference, but you guys asked, so I am just telling you how I feel. And as I said, I don't really want to sell, so I'm not going to be sending everybody catalogs and everything like that. A catalog, you can, if you place an order, you can get one for free. But the last thing that I think is really good from, they have some nice products. I will show you, but the thing that I think they do better than anyone else is their Cricut cartridge. I've sold my Cricut and now I kind of want to get another one because I saw their new Cricut cartridge. Their last two cartridges, they were okay, but I really never used them much. But since we have traveled so much and we went to Sequoia National Forest and we've been to, I don't think we went to Grand Canyon, but we've been all over the United States. And so this traveling one, it really might sucker me in again. But they have some things for Australia, for Canada. These are little digital cartridges, and then they have one big one, but it's super expensive. It's $99. Now you can get the digital one for $79, and that's what I will be doing. But you do get the 3 stamp sets and the paper with it. I really wish they would just sell it separate, but for some reason they won't. When I had a Cricut, I had a few of their cartridges, and their cartridges were the only ones that I used because their images were so good. But I really liked the art booking, and the other one's retired. I think they did, for the Cricut, I think the only cartridges I ever used were the Close to My Heart. The Cricut cartridges are what brought me to Close to My Heart, pretty sure. As far as stamps, I'm just not as inspired by their stamps anymore. And I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings. Stamps are so personal. One person likes cutesy, one person likes pretty. I like them all. Not as inspired by very many of their stamps anymore. I did find a couple that I thought were pretty. I like this one a lot. It has procrastinating, the art of spending time on crafting projects that probably should be spent adulting. I thought that was really cute. I thought this one was cute. They have some pretty cute ones. Now we'll get to the hate it's part. And please, 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 no, I'm not trying to bash Close to My Heart. They're a really fabulous company. I don't like Close to My Heart as much is for some of the stamps. Like this one, it's very pretty, but when I compare it with what's out on the market, and it includes the dies, and it's a good price because it's $27.95 for the stamps, for both the stamps and the dies. That's a really good price. But the Altenew stamps for layering, I don't think you can beat them. I just prefer other companies. And of course, you guys know I love the flip-flops. I use those for my easy shake your cards, and I also use them in my scrapbooking, so I include that with the page protectors. So here's the hate it section. I'm just trying to be honest because I've had many emails asking. I was not a big fan of these paints. To me, they paint very chalky, and they are good for lettering, is why I kept them, and so my daughter can use them, and some people might get really beautiful results, but when I personally used them, I found them to be chalky, and they actually made me think I hated watercolors when now I know I love them. So, but mostly they're $12.95, and I did not see any difference in this set and the set you can get at Michael's for $3.95. Now I will say a lot of their items in their catalog, some of them you can get the same thing or pretty close to the same thing at Michael's, and they're considered convenience items because in other countries you can't get them as easily as we can here in the United States and Canada. So I think it's great that they offer those things. So another item I was not a fan of is their colored pencils. They are $26.95, and you can get a set of Derwent or much better quality colored pencil for the same price. Their colors look pretty, but when I colored with them, I just wasn't a fan. Their markers, they're $5.95. You can go to Scrapbook Pal and get Copic markers for $5.25. And I use these markers for a while. A lot of consultants are excited. They don't give you enough lighter colors to do good blending, I didn't feel, because they didn't ever expand the lineup. But mostly I had these for what, 5 years or so. At the same time I was buying Copics. Both my children and I much preferred the Copics. Found a lot of my markers, the ends of them, a few of my markers, the name and the numbers actually rubbed off, and I've never had that with my Copic markers. So I wasn't as big of a fan of those. So now for their ink pads. As most of you I think I've showed most of you guys, they have some really lovely colors, and they did upgrade their ink pads, so now they're magnetic. They're in this really cool, awesome case, and they're beautiful. It's a beautiful, sleek design. This is kind of on the fence category because I love their colors and I love the new magnetic, sleek design. I think they're super awesome. The only trouble I have now, they stamp out beautifully. And they have some pretty colors that I haven't found anywhere else. That part I love. So they have some really beautiful colors. They stamp out. Now they are dye inks. But they are dye inks, so they stamp out splotchy, some of them. Just like many dye inks, I think I have a love-hate relationship with most dye inks because some of them stamp out splotchy. And I can't ever get the good, clean impression that I want every time. So they have some really lovely colors. And compared to, like, say, for Lawn Fawn, try to compare them. I can't, they don't have a good red. But some of these colors are very close to Lawn Fawn's color. Like, I'm trying to get the... Okay, like say, so like this sunflower is very close to canary, and I'm trying to think of what else. Some of the colors are kind of similar. Try not to make you guys dizzy. So, but I did find on Lawn Fawn's first 3, I think this was in their first release. The newer ones, I don't notice this, but this kind of has a kind of a chalky undertone to it. I don't know how to describe that, but wasn't such a fan of those. But these newer colors are really nice. Lawn Fawn inks I can get for, what, I think $5. And the Close to My Heart inks, while they are super cool and fabulous, they are $7.95. So that's really pricey. So there's some colors that I can't live without, and so I did order them, and I do like them. Now I will say, compared to, as much as I like the Altenew inks, the Altenew inks stamped out much splotchier than the Close to My Heart inks. But the real issue I have is that, but when I go to stamp on my Misty, because they're large, I find it harder to get a good crisp image. Now I don't have that problem if I'm not using the Misty, but I like using my Misty, and I know people say, well, then you can stamp it twice. Well, I don't want to stamp it twice because I want the first light image, not a doubled up image. So now let's move on to the cards. But please know I was not trying to bash Close to My Heart. I truly love the company. I just had to be honest. That lighting is okay, and you guys can see this. But in person, this is really pretty, especially because you can turn it to the light and see different colors. But I really loved it. So this is the first card I made. And I will have all the items linked below, of course, in case I forget an item or can't remember it or something. So this is the stamp set I use. It's from Altenew. It's called Beautiful Day. I absolutely love this set. I'm so glad I finally picked it up. And I really, really want to get the dies now. I'll say that. And then I also use this banner set from Lawn Fawn, and then I use this dotted die from Lawn Fawn. So, but I will link it below. And of course, I use my fine text. Now I did record me making this, so if you tutorial, just let me know and I can publish that. So I use this beautiful fine tech paints that I love so much, and they really, when you put them on, they're very pretty paints, but when you put them on colored cardstock especially, they really sing. So I made that card. So this is my next card I made. I used this really cute set from My Favorite Things called Jungle Gym, and as well as the matching dies. And this is one of the sets that I would have, even if I had my Scan and Cut still, I would have picked up this die set because it does cut out the insides of these. And I use this die here, which I'll have listed below. I can't remember the name of it. And then I also use the large stitched rectangle die from Lawn Fawn. So, but all I did is I took, I watercolored these with these Primas again. I find them really easy to use. This is the next card I made. I used this Fierce Friends Lovable Leopards for the sentiment, and then I used this Hugs die from My Favorite Things. And so this is the card. I had used these watercolors. So for my last card, I used the My Favorite Things Jungle Gym set again. I just absolutely love this set. I think it's so cute. I still have a bunch of ideas to do. And I did use the matching dies, made it easy. I used this circle frame die, and then I also used my Mama Elephant So Fancy die. For that, watercolored all those images. So that is the end of my hauls and my card share, and I thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.